You want to have more success with closing, and closing, a lot of it starts with mindset, with posture. What to say is important. It is a factor. I've been doing this 18 years, and I can tell you that there are some language tweaks that you can make, but at the end of the day, a lot of it has to do with your approach, having confidence and belief in what it is you're promoting. Fortunately for me, I was a natural closer, a natural influencer. Like, I'd never been in sales before. I'd never done anything entrepreneurial, but I did have kind of a natural ability to promote something I believed in and get another person excited about something I was excited about. I thought it was so easy to close people. I didn't understand why everybody else wasn't naturally good at closing like me. So I brought 3 rock stars. All 3 of them are leaders. All 3 of them are awesome closers, and they're not just great closers. Like, they're not just like knocking people over the head for $500, $400, right? They aren't just recruiting people and going, okay, done, off to the next one. They really work with people to help them have success.
Last month, we personally sponsored in 23 frontline new marketers to our team. And a lot of people see that and they get excited about that. And they wonder, what are those people doing different, or what do they have that I don't have? But what they don't see is the 300 conversations that didn't lead to a brand new social marketer on the team, all the no's. And so, I remember listening to an old school Jim Rohn network marketing CD training that we actually got as a gift from one of our first mentors in the industry. And I remember he used to say, talk to 10, get 1, talk to 10, get 2, talk to 10. If you're really good, talk to 10, get 3, right? And he always said, I don't care about the 9, I just care about the 9 that are going to lead me to the 1. It's just about the law of large numbers. It's about the fact that we've got to get the message in front of a lot of people. You can make up for in numbers what you lack in skill. You can make up for in numbers what you lack in influence. And so I just knew that if I didn't have a lot of influence, maybe Jim Rohn, it took 10 to get 1, but maybe me, it took 20. But that's okay. As long as I continued to talk to more people, I was going to find the right people.
Listen to the person that you're speaking to and solve their problem, right? And so you can't say anything wrong, because what you really want to do, I think what happens with people when they're closing is they kind of get diarrhea of the mouth and they start to vomit all over the person that they're trying to bring into their business, instead of shutting their mouth and listening to them and listening to what they want and what they need. And so you really don't need to say too much when you're, when you're trying to close somebody, you're solving their problem for them. You're helping them solve their problem. They've told you what the problem is. Don't talk, listen. That would be my biggest piece of advice.
I started this profession doing the belly-to-belly model, and essentially I had no influence. I wasn't showing up on social media. I was purely prospecting. My success rate, and I say success rate like who said yes to me when I asked them, was about 20%. And I'm a numbers girl. So I was always crunching the numbers and looking at how many people out of 10 would say yes. So about 2 people out of 10 would give me a yes to take a look. When I really intentionally said, okay, I'm going to build a personal brand, I'm going to use attraction marketing techniques. But when you pair attraction marketing and branding yourself with active prospecting, that's when the money happens. I've built that know, like, and trust. They already feel like they know me. They've probably been watching. Maybe they've never said anything. But now my success rate, I get between 7 and 8 out of 10 asks are a yes to take a look.
Wow.
Now. And that's just the power of showing up and giving lots of value and giving your heart and being authentic and caring about people.
Communicate with people through Messenger who are on at any given moment. I could pull my phone up right now and it'll probably say there's between 400 and 500 people active on Facebook Messenger. So I go through and guess what I do? I click on the people who have the little dot next to their name and I say, what's going on, brother? How are you? And I see where it goes. And guess what? Those conversations, nada, no response. But some of them respond. And ideally, it's going to get to a point where I can say, hey, totally throwing this out there, man, but you're an awesome person. Or, hey, totally throwing this out there. You're so inspirational. I always compliment and connect first. And then I ask the question, because you got an ASK to GET, right? And so I ask them, hey, are you open to taking a look at what we're doing for extra income? You could absolutely crush this. Our team is on fire right now. It's fast growing. We're having so much fun. If you're not interested, that's totally okay. If not, no big deal, but I had to ask.
I send them to a video because, again, it's less talking. And so I send them, I say, sweet, let me add you to a group and tag you in a video. When do you have 15 minutes to watch it? And then they give me their time. It's, again, I'm letting them do the talking. They give me their time. They say, okay, 8 o'clock. I put a reminder in my messenger and say, okay, I'm putting it right in here to follow back up with you at 8 o'clock Eastern time, and then we carry on that conversation after that. And then the next thing I say afterward is, it was awesome, wasn't it? And then, so I lead with it was amazing. And they're not going to say, no, it was horrible, right? And they're going to say, yes. And then I say, okay, so tell me, what did you like best? And so then I know where to direct the conversation.
The way that I do it, because I'm treating my prospect as a potential business partner, I will say to them, hey, listen, I want you to see how I do this business, and I want you to see the system exactly as it's designed. Yep. So I already added you to my group. I tagged you in my video, or in the video, you've watched it. Now you have questions. The last step in this super simple system is I'm gonna put you in a chat with some other leaders. And the reason I want to do that is because I need you to know what you would do if you chose to do this business. And I want you to see the support that we have. And you never have to have all the answers, because the leaders are going to have the answers for you. And then I go ahead and I do it. I don't ask permission. I just put them in there and I edify the leaders, and then I let the leaders take the lead. So I know how to close people, but I always use a group chat. And that is because it's not for me. It's because I'm showing that person how they would then do the business. So whatever I do, they're going to learn that and they're going to duplicate.
I want you to meet my girl, Tiffany. She's amazing, and I'll tell her story and I'll say, I really think that you guys could really connect with each other. Would it be okay? And I love this wording. Would it be okay to put you in a chat, And usually nobody says no, they're like, yeah, sure, because I've edified them, and I've told them how amazing it is. And so then when they're in that chat, their guard is already down, if that makes sense, because they're already feeling like, oh, Julie told me this person's really cool. Okay, sweet. Let me go and meet them too. And so then they feel this sense of community and already this sense of belonging in your company.
Now, let's say they're not ready to join at that moment. Maybe they're a bit resistant, whatever the case may be. I then drip on them. So my follow-up strategy is essentially, I don't show up usually in the exact same way multiple times in a row. So for example, I will show up, in Facebook Messenger or in Instagram DM, and I will say, hey, you had a chance to watch the video. What did you like best about what you saw, etc. And then if they're not ready to join, once they've done the group chat thing, I will then drip on them in a different way. So I won't show back up in Messenger or in Instagram DM. I will then show up on their content. I will engage on their content. I will leave a meaningful comment that wasn't just an emoji or something quick. I will actually be interested in them. I always like that term, be interested, not interesting. It's not all about you. It's about making them feel special, right? Everybody in this world is walking around with a little sign on their forehead that says, make me feel special, right? So how can you show up on their page? And the whole goal is you want your name to show up in their notifications every now and then.
Yep.
Because then you're top of mind. And so that's my strategy for my prospects, is I just drip. And, just have a brand and be adding value and be so good that they can't ignore you, so that eventually they either come back to me when they're ready, Or, when I check back in to ask them, hey, how's that vacation you guys went on? That looked amazing. Cause I'm, now I'm back in Facebook Messenger and I'm chatting with them about the content that they put on their page. And they usually at that point will say, hey, by the way, I'm really thinking about the business. And so I don't even have to bring it up again all that much. I don't like to bring it up all the time. I want to diversify my communication with them.
Regardless of your skill set and your influence, you're going to have people who give you the 2-letter word, no. And the reality is this, is the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection is one of the top fears in people. But here's the reality is, do yourself a favor and set yourself up for success. I go in, so I'm an extremely optimistic person because I believe that what you believe for is what you receive. So if I'm pessimistic, I'm gonna bring low energy to the table. I'm not gonna have a lot of success in my connection, my conversations. So I'm not saying I'm pessimistic. However, I do understand how this whole process works. So when I go into a conversation and I ask somebody the open question, I am totally okay before they even answer if that answer is no.
I don't mess around and build all this rapport with people because I've already done that through my brand. So typically I will just jump in and I will say to them, hey, listen, I want to be super transparent about why I'm reaching out right now. I'm not sure if you've seen what I've been up to online, but I've seen some of your posts. You seem like, maybe, or you'd be an awesome person to do what I'm doing. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, but, would you be at all open to taking a look if it wouldn't at all interfere with what you're already doing? If not, no big deal. I've gotten so many positive messages. People are like, thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for not pretending to care about, my dog or, what my kid had for lunch. Like, thank you for just getting to the point. Like, people really do, they appreciate that.
At the end of the day, you have to do what feels right for you. And I think where people get hung up on the closing piece is they feel like rapport, and then they don't ask the question. Right? And so if you're authentically you're listening for the pain point. I mean, it could be like 5 minutes that I've just met somebody, but I've heard a pain point. So I'm going to ask them if they're open. It could be like 2 years that I've had conversations with this person, and then I'm finally asking them. But if you're not open, if you're not asking them if they're open to taking a look, your business is closed, right? Yep. And so you need to be authentically you and do what feels right for you. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you're popping the question, so to speak.
What do you believe about you? What do you believe about your company, your opportunity? What do you believe about your product? What do you believe about our industry and what's possible here? And then lastly, what do you believe that you can help people accomplish if they say yes? Because what I know is this, is I believe in our company. I believe in myself. I believe in the leadership support that we have. I believe in everything about everything when it comes to this industry, because it's changed our life and thousands of other lives of people that we personally know and personally have seen.
It's amazing how, if you just keep showing up and then you look back on your progress, you look back on all those relationships, all those conversations, and you're gonna go, I know why I'm successful today because, man, I paid the price. I did the work. It's what you're doing on a daily basis and popping the question, getting good at the follow-up, and not being afraid to just say, hey, are you ready to get started? Sometimes we just have to, pop the question, pull the trigger, and just, say the thing that we're most uncomfortable saying. So